What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. Battlefield 1's newest DLC, They Shall Not Pass, adds one of the largest battles from World War I, the Battle of Verdun. But how does this depiction compare to reality? The Battle of Verdun was a massive clash between France and Germany. The German goal was to choose a strategic target of such importance that it would force the French to commit a majority of their forces to a battle of attrition that would slowly bleed them dry. The French persevered, but the cost was high. Lasting from February 21st to December 18, 1916, it claimed an estimate of 700,000 lives. Verdun was a valuable position on the eastern border of France and a potential staging point to launch an attack to Paris. The resulting battle saw a push and pull between forces, including attacks on valuable Fort Douaumont and Fort de Vaux. The latter is depicted in the Battlefield 1 map Fort de Vaux, while battles elsewhere take place in a Verdun Heights map. This is a video from that map. The Germans fielded 1200 artillery guns at Verdun, many of which were heavy or super heavy artillery. French artillery included 388 field guns and 244 heavy guns. Rate of fire was high and train supplies of heavy steam of rounds to the battlefield. The result was a heavily bombarded field set ablaze. Battlefield 1 doubles down on that image, as well as it should. The devastation of Verdun is a terrible and awesome thing to see. This is what Verdun looks like before shelling began. As you see from the photo, the landscape looks quite peaceful and nothing's really going on. However, this is what Verdun looked like afterwards. It's devastated to its last bit. A very tragic situation if you compare it to the picture before. Battlefield 1 is a curious piece of work when examining how it approaches and depicts the battlefield in World War I. In the depiction of Verdun, the game seeks to stress the sheer amount of destruction present. To delineate from other maps like those used in the Kaiserschloss operation, the game employs a different color palette. It eschews the drab greys and muddy browns in exchange for a hot red glow. Stylistically, it looks like a good job of conveying a unique feeling of encroaching death and destruction. It's clear that the game wants to impress the raw horror of battle to players. But the other half of the coin is Battlefield 1's attention to fidelity and mood also turns it into a type of exhibitions work. While it offers potential education for the curious, it also functions as a digital disaster tourism as well. Players are whisked to distance the battle of the past to see the slaughter and devastation. This tension has always been at the core of the multiplayer. For myself, it remains irreconcilable with the single-player campaign. The game's look at the Fort de Vaux is much more intimate. Very little time is spent outside the fort. It is mostly a matter of close-range combat and tight corridors. In many ways, it feels like Battlefield 3's Metro or Battlefield 4 Operation Locker. It makes sense. The fort were desperately held defensive position. Fort Vaux was attacked by the Germans on June 2nd and proved a more difficult target to capture than Douaumont, which was basically captured overnight in February when the Battle of Verdun began. Major Sylvain Eugène Renault and a garrison of French soldiers held off the German assault for time, but they were eventually forced to surrender on June 7th. 2,700 German soldiers were killed or wounded in the fighting. Only 163 French soldiers were killed. Here are some French soldiers hunkered inside a fort. This picture is south side of the fort, 2 years after the battle. Fort de Vaux is a fantastic rush map. The tight spaces and choke points are perfect for the assault class and battles can reach a fevered pitch. It's confusing and disorienting, but feels fitting given the history. The majority of the fighting was done underground after the top of the fort was occupied by the Germans. Fort de Vaux visually design is less exciting than Verdun Heights, but it's interesting to see how much the gameplay overlaps with the intense history. They Shall Not Pass offers an interesting take on Verdun, eschewing the design of previous maps for something much more distinct visually and stark in gameplay. Verdun Heights and Fort de Vaux are fine additions to the game with a stunning history behind them worth remembering. That's it for this week's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. A like is always appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't for more content. It would really support my channel. My name is Synaptic and I'll talk to you guys later.